Hello guys, and welcome back to End All Wars with our Eastern Entente playthrough. I'm actually going to go back a step and show you the turn results for the previous turn because they were so long I couldn't fit them neatly into the previous episode, and they are so insanely eventful. It's the most exciting turn of the entire campaign so far. Let's take a look at it. And remember, I recorded all this days, maybe like a week ago, so the commentary may be a bit different. So we're starting this next turn with a battle, the Battle of Dorbiani. So we did indeed encounter that infantry division that was here, and we chased them away to Memel. However, the price is not something I'd really call a victory. We lost 2,050 men to kill only 410 of it, despite an insane numerical advantage. So that's cool, but I still wouldn't call that a victory. We are once again under attack at Kielce, and wow, it's insane that they're attacking, because we outnumber them so badly. Wants to do an infantry assault? Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I went with this last time too, but there's nothing they can do here to overwhelm us. They don't have anyone else in the area, I don't believe. Oh, or they do. Oh yeah, they must have railed some in. They railed some in at some point. Ooh, I guess during the day they railed some in? I didn't see these units, but more just popped out of nowhere. The infantry assault failed to even happen, but their plan failed, which was they were preparing to withdraw, and they were trying to defend their escape route. They failed to escape. So when a bunch of reinforcements came in, the battle only escalated, and oh my god. This is a hell of a victory for us. I hope it gives me a morale point, because this deserves a morale point. We lost... Well, first off, we had twice their infantry. We had, not exactly, but close to 3 times, between 2 and 3 times their cavalry. We had about the same amount of artillery, a little bit more. We lost only 6 artillery, they lost 78. Awesome. We lost only 471 cavalry, they lost 1,366. Awesome. We lost 17,271 men. Ow. That hurts a little bit. But they lost 44,126. That's more than half the infantry they brought. That's another Austrian or German, whatever the fuck this is made up of, group just... Oh my god, knocked out of the race, just demolished, decimated, whatever word you want to use for it. Completely fucked up for the time being. That's a hell of an eventful first day right there. Oh, and von Hindenburg is showing himself again. Ugh. Go away, you angry German. And we have another battle. I once again assaulted over here in Tarnopol, because we had assaulted before, but we didn't actually get the city, the depot. We didn't get it for some reason. Well, what they had here was a supply train, so we assaulted it, and it doesn't show any casualties, but simultaneously it says that we completely wiped out the supply train. So that's good, if that's true, that we completely wiped it out. Because I'd love to own Tarnopol by now, and it looks like we do. It looks like we finally own Tarnopol. Thank God, because I thought I would have owned it by last turn. I had the countryside anyway. So that's progress, so long as a giant doomstack doesn't arrive to kick us out of there, like they did with Rara Ruska, then that's good. I'm not seeing a whole lot of forces around Rara Ruska right now, which makes me think they may have left, like I was hoping, without actually assaulting the city. And if that's true, I can get my units back in there and reclaim Rara Ruska again. Meaning their victory of pushing me out was worthless, because since I put a militia in there, they didn't get the city, and so far anyway, they haven't assaulted it and actually taken it over. But they may have the forces there yet, I don't know. They're constantly moving and training things around anyway. Looks like a lot of the units that were involved in that fight south of Arzen at Kielce are across the river. Whether or not they were always across the river, I'm not exactly sure, but I know they're there now, so they may have run away or they may have supported from there, but they're like shattered. Their cohesion is bad, their health is bad, their supplies are getting bad. I like the amount of damage we're doing. The only thing I worry is, can we do enough damage to hold up the entire Entente? Because I don't necessarily see that the Western Entente is carrying the same amount of weight that we are carrying right now. And I don't want to have to hold up the entire Entente as Russia. That's what the Eastern Entente is. It's Russia. It's Tsarist Russia, and then Serbia is tacked on. Serbia's gonna die. I'm pretty certain Serbia's gonna die eventually. But I'm just Russia. I can't hold up the entire Entente. The Western Entente has France, they have Great Britain, they have soon-to-be Italy, they have Greece, they have Japan, they have Portugal. Their ranks keep expanding. And I don't see them doing enough. I don't see them winning enough to really get us anywhere. And here we have another battle, the battle for Poltusk, which has conveniently waited until my units arrived, or almost arrived, close enough to take part anyway, that were trained over here. And now we outnumber them like crazy. They have 15 infantry to our 53, we have 4 cavalry, they have none, they have 4 guns, we have 13. The general suggesting that I do a cavalry breakthrough, I disagree. I'm going to do a strong center deployment, and I'm going to do a just full-on infantry assault. They don't have the guns or the infantry to stop us, quite frankly. So I'm going to go all out with an infantry assault and just try to kick their teeth in. Hermann von Francois. This, I'm probably saying that wrong, but this German Army Corps leader that has marched into our territory. Let's see what results. It's awful! How is that a victory? How is that a victory? You call that a victory? Wow. So he had 27,000 units. I had 167,000. I lost 13 fucking thousand to him only losing about almost 4,000. That's awful. We lost like 3 times as many units. Yet somehow this is a victory. It's only a victory because we outnumbered him so much. That's the only reason this is a victory. This is a disgusting defeat. Maybe I should... No, I lie. No, I didn't... Picking another plan wouldn't even have helped. Because we didn't even get to the infantry assault. It was just one round of combat. And I guess he fled, or... It looks like he ran out of supplies, actually. So that's interesting. But all of our units were deactivated, so they were going with a penalty, I believe. Not to mention they crossed a river to get here. I don't know if it can actually tell us much of anything that helped us. Our trench effectiveness was not very high. Some of our units routed. I don't know what it is. I don't know what made that go so badly, but that went pretty badly. And looks like we're getting another battle in during this turn resolution. A battle against, for the first time ever, an inferior commander. Look at this. We get to see what he's doing. He's doing a breakthrough deployment. Although it doesn't show anything else that he might be picking underneath that, which is concerning. Our AI, anyway, suggests we do an envelop flank, and quite frankly, with this setup, as you can see, I'm not quite sure what else I would do. We outnumber them in every regard, but not like doubling them in any circumstances except cavalry, so I'll go with the better judgment, hopefully, of this commander for another scary Battle of Stanislaus, which has been quite the battleground. And it turned into a Russian defeat by the second round. That really sucks. And we even ended up running back to Kolomia. We ended up retreating because fucking assloads of Germans showed up to support the Austrians. God damn, what is even happening on the Western Front? Despite it being a defeat, it is not as bad as it sounds. We did get chased away. We may have lost a morale point. I'll have to check after this, but they outnumbered us like crazy. They came with 336,000 units. This is a third of a million fucking units, guys. To my 200,000. This is my largest fucking army, 200,000. We lost 9,000 units, but we killed almost 18,000. So that's like a nice 2 KDR right there, which is great. We lost 711 cavalry, where we did outnumber them. They lost only 97, though. We lost no guns, they lost 18. The big win is in how many infantry we killed, but they outpowered us, man. We do have a militia there, so they haven't taken the city of Stanislaus quite yet, but that's just an overwhelming amount of... What the fuck is happening down there? Did you see that? Did you see all those Austrians down there? Where are all these units coming from? I I swear to God, they have like an infinite amount of units they're just throwing at me, and I just can't keep up with it. The Western Entente needs to get their shit in gear because I am a Russia surrounded on all fucking sides, and I am feeling the pressure. I don't know how I'm getting good results at all at this point. Luckily, losing the area of Stanislaus is not that big a deal in itself because it was their territory anyway. And now we have a Battle of Lodz. They are attacking Lodz. And I believe I will get the assistance of those who remain at Kolo during this battle. Let's see, suggest I do an infantry assault. I can see why, but I'm also concerned because there's more of them that aren't here yet. So I'm going to lower that to a wave assault. Let's cross our fingers and hope for the best as this battle ramps up. Oh my god. And it's a Russian victory on, oh, it's a hard-fought victory. All right, damn, this is a really long battle result. But the wave assault actually worked for a few turns before failing, and they did a counter march to try to prepare to withdraw, but the battle just escalated and it got worse. We had 137,000, they had 97,000 units. We lost 29,000 men in this fight, guys, but they lost 51,500 men. Another absolutely slaughtered Central Powers force, this time German. So that's awesome, and they brought in a lot of howitzers. They had some really good artillery here. The Central Powers has way better artillery than we have. We have some medium artillery with our units, but we mostly rely on field artillery, which they have too, but they have assloads of heavy artillery that they bring around with them, and their medium artillery. But they lost 66 guns, we lost 12. They lost 357 cav, we lost 725. I'd agree with that. That is a victory. That's a nice, hard-fought victory, in fact. Hopefully the fighting there doesn't continue, and oh my god, they're attacking Belgrade now. Jesus Christ, this just won't stop. Okay, so this looks like a unit that would be in Africa, so that's concerning that he's here. They have almost as much infantry as we do. They have not as much artillery as we do, and we have some cavalry. They are doing a prepare to withdraw deployment, so I guess they regret engaging us. The AI suggests using forward machine gun emplacements. This battle plan will use fortified machine gun emplacements to inflict maximum damage to the enemy, increase frontage, and big range combat bonuses to our infantry. If countered, there's big assault combat penalties. I don't think my leader's good enough to actually show me what can counter what, so I'm just going to go with his better judgment and hope the Serbians don't let me down. Oh my god, there's so many of them, there's so many of them, there's so many of them. Oh my god, why? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, this is... What the fuck? Remember how a few episodes I said we saw the bloodiest battle of the campaign? Well, nope. We found the new bloodiest battle of the entire campaign. I doubt the Western Entente has a battle that beats this in blood. Our plan worked the entire way through. Their prepared to withdraw countermarch failed partway through. We had 120,000 men. We were outnumbered more than 2 to 1 with their 253,000 men. They lost 116,000 men in one battle. We lost 32,000. Big loss for us, but bigger loss for them. We lost 1,106 cavalry. They lost 943, pretty even. We lost only 16 guns to their 125. I think that is the single, biggest victory we have seen this entire campaign. But it scares me because our cohesion is down, our strength is down. This only goes to show just how much power the Central Powers are sitting on, and they are throwing it at us. In the long run, if this continues, we don't stand a chance. So here's hoping the Western Entente gets their shit together sooner rather than later, instead of waiting for the US to join in 1917 to turn it all around, because we're doing amazing, but it hurts. And we have another battle. Ah, yes, the Battle of Memel, what I've been waiting for. The AI suggests a wave assault. I would have thought an infantry assault, but I'll go with the cautious judgment of the commander, and let's proceed. And another victory, one round. They lost 820 units, we lost 2,050. Similar results on the other side of the river, but at least it's a victory. We completely chased them out of Memel. the region anyway. We don't have the city. One of their divisions has retreated into our territory over here. That's a problem we'll have to deal with. But that battle successful. Another battle? What the fuck is this turn resolution? Here's the Battle of Pultusk. And by the Battle of Pultusk, I mean the second Battle of Pultusk within 2 weeks. He wants to do a cavalry breakthrough. Again, I don't trust you. I don't trust that that's the right thing to do. So I'm going to go with a strong center deployment against your wishes and go with a wave assault. Even though defying your wishes may not have worked out so great last time, their supplies look like they're basically out. So let's go into this and see how it goes. Okay, Russian victory. Better KDR this time, but massive losses on each side. This is the bloodiest fucking turn in the whole game so far. Oh my god. We lost 13,171 men. But we outnumbered them 3-1. They lost 15,500 men. They lost about twice the cavalry. We lost just low amounts. Same with guns. Only a 2-round combat. And that actually worked out pretty well for us. And there's still somehow another fucking battle here. They are assaulting us in Zavornik. Again. That's insane. I know we're going to get reinforcements. They will too, but I know we will get more. So I'm going to go with his judgment for an infantry assault and hope for the best. Because we absolutely decimated this Austrian corps last turn. And looks like the judgment was correct. In just 3 turns, we basically wiped out the entire group. I mean, we didn't. We wiped out an infantry division. One of the several divisions we wiped out in this turn. We lost 9,000 Serbians. And that's it. Just infantry. We killed 43,500, I believe, Austrians, and only Austrians. 89 of their cavs, 16 of their guns. Absolutely amazing fucking victory. This turn was insanely long. So much happened in it. And it's just, wow. That's what I have to say. Just fucking wow. Well, it's been about 5 days now since I've recorded what you've just seen. Been streaming a lot of EverQuest over on Twitch, but it's time to go over that last turn and go over this one. So to start, let's take a look down here on the border with Austria. It was a big turn, lots of losses, a lot happened. In fact, our national morale went from the mid-90s to 104. It's at 103 now, but we'll discuss why that is. It was 97 prior. It went up by 8, -1 standard turn, war weariness, yada yada. Otherwise, it would have been 105. If we look over here at Kielce, this was one of the main locations we had a battle. We got 2 national morale from this battle. Also, the soundtrack's going to change every time I look at one of these battles. I don't know why. This is one of the big battles where we lost 17,000 men only, and we killed 44,000. Really, we've had bigger battles than this, but it was enough to gain 2 national morale. Let's scroll down the list here, and I want to look at the other ones that had a big effect. So here we have another one over at Lodz. Let's take a peek at Lodz here, where I split up this one kind of underpowered army group, and we fought a battle here. We lost 29,000 men, and they lost 51.5. Pretty good numbers there. That gained us another 2 national morale. And here looks like the biggest one over on Belgrade in Serbia. We gained 3 national morale points in a battle where we lost 32,000 men, but killed 100 and almost 16,000 men. Easily the bloodiest, most amazing battle of the entire war. We put up forward machine gun emplacements throughout the entire battle. They failed a counter march to try to withdraw, and they were slaughtered. They outnumbered us 2-1. They easily should have won that battle. That does put us in a bit of an interesting situation, but we're not done looking at the results. One more, the Battle of Zavornik, another one in Austria, where we lost 9,000 men and took out 43,500. Is it just me, or are our Serbians doing way better in literally every fight than our Russians? I know their leadership is better, but holy hell, man. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at Austria for now then. Not really able to recruit much of anything here. I did capture some supply wagons from the invading Austrians, but my armies here are spent, so hopefully the enemies don't attack anytime soon. They look just as spent as we are. This army over at Loznica is still pretty unspent, pretty healthy, but the only one now sitting on Zavornik is still very spent and in a dangerous position, and it keeps getting assaulted by this army corps. But seeing as we keep absolutely slaughtering it, and let's check this one, we killed like as many men as they had. They should be completely wiped for now. Hopefully they don't attack us again. Hopefully they don't have that kind of manpower, because we certainly don't have the manpower to fight back over here. Our Serbian forces are completely, just as I've said several times, spent, and they need to be able to recover. So very defensive in Serbia right now. The place where we are definitely draining the Central Powers' power. These are the heroes of our war right now, is Serbia and the Serbians. It's amazing. Our force in Montenegro still just chilling, defending Montenegro. At the very least, if the rest of Serbia falls, Montenegro will hopefully be safe, right? I could move them in and try to do something fancy with them, but Montenegro is a decent place in itself. It's not really connected by any road, so I'd rather defend it as a country with at least one stack. I have moved this one over to Ivanjica, and I wanted to assault to take this depot back, which is very hard to view right now. There it is. But the leader is deactivated, so he can really just sit here, and that's about it. Moving a cavalry over to Zavornik to try to replace this militia right here and move the militia somewhere else. And Jankovic is sitting on Niš, and he's going to continue to sit here and defend while, as we can see, the Bulgarians are, as I predicted, doing a mass offensive into Serbia. This is a shame because we can't do anything about it. The Serbians may be our heroes, but they don't have enough numbers to deal with a much larger regional power over here, Austria-Hungary, with aiding Germans, and deal with the Bulgarians. We can't do that. We don't have that capability. That's unfortunate. We have one militia sitting over here in Pirat. Hopefully it does well, but the most we can hope it to do is delay the enemy. Down in Greece, the Greeks really haven't started moving. Down in this part of Turkey, these sieges continue. I don't know how well they're going. And now let's look at the northern part of Austria-Hungary. So, as we know, one of the big battles happened over here at Kielce. I'm going to stay on the defensive over in Kielce just due to how many enemies are truly surrounding this location. I don't think going on the offensive here right now is the smartest unless some of these forces clear out. At the very least, they may decide to come attack us, and so long as we're on the defensive, we have an advantage. Over here in Zamask, I am regrouping our forces that were kicked out of Rala Ruska, and we're going back in. It will take us 8 days to get there, but we're going back in. We're going on the offensive. The troops here look like they're really running out of supply really badly, and since some of them, a lot of them, have actually gone north to try to besiege Lutsk, which is undefended except by a small fortress garrison with a magazine, there's not a lot we can do to defend it. So instead, I'm going back on the offensive. I'm leaving Zamask. I'm going back to Rala Ruska, and we are going to try to take it back. I guess I should go on the offensive like the moment I get there, so I have to select one of these guys and put him on the assault so that we do assault. Well, actually, no. We don't need to assault this because we actually own this. Okay, so never mind. Go on the defensive. Just by being there, we will start to take it over. I forgot we still owned the city. So that's good. We did also move in with a pretty risky maneuver into Tarnopol, and we had a battle, and it didn't go quite as excitingly. Where's that battle? It's been 5 days, so I kind of have to remind myself what happened. Where is Tarnopol? Tarnopol is, I guess, at the top. Yeah, here we go. Wasn't one that gained us any national morale. Apparently, we wiped out a supply train when we came in here. We didn't lose anyone. We got 150,000 men here. Stronger than any army in terms of numbers, infantry numbers, than we have in Serbia. But, of course, you know, worse leadership, probably capable of less. It is crazy to see. Our Russians are really what we depend on. They have the numbers. They're really the main army we have. And the Serbians have the experience, they have the power, they have the will. You know, they're the ones with the elite fighting force. Although, you know, due to diplomacy, they're also kind of doomed because we can't deal with their rebels because it just takes from the Western Entente control of them instead of the rebels. So that's a shame. I really wish they'd fix that. That's going to eat away at me the rest of this playthrough. I'm just going to kind of sit here, I think. But I am keeping this Army Corps here on the offensive to chase out this supply train and immediately attack anyone that tries to cross through here. This area has a depot, so it should start to amass some supplies. If it doesn't already have some, I think it has a little bit. But it should start to amass more. And then when we're more recovered as a whole, we'll see about moving and going on any more of an offensive. I just kind of want to hold this point and stop anyone from passing through it. Looking a little bit to the south, we have been pushed out of Stanislaus. Here's our battle at Stanislaus. We didn't gain anything from it. We didn't lose anything from it in terms of morale. It's a defeat, even though we only lost 9,000 to their near 18,000, because we had 202,500 men here. They had 336,000, so they chased us out just by weight of numbers here. It was really unfortunate. Well, they haven't taken Stanislaus because we still have a militia there. That's why I put the militias there, to slow them down if we can. I am going to race all these units over to Chotin, which is now under attack by a small German corps, and I'm going on the offensive, so when we get there we can hopefully attack immediately and chase them out if possible. And then we're just going to relax for the rest of the turn. It will take us 2 days to get there, and we will hopefully recover well, and then we can go on another offensive, be it this way or up this way. I don't know. We just need to keep doing some damage, especially after seeing how much damage we're doing, and I'll review how that's going later. Let's take a look over at Lodz. We've seen there was a very significant battle over here at Lodz. I think I'm still fairly surrounded though, so I don't want to risk anything too bad. Not that I can really do much because of a lot of deactivated generals, so everyone here is pretty much staying on the defensive, and we're going to wait and hold and hope we can continue to hold the majority of Poland that we currently own. And over here in Polutsk, where we had another battle, actually, and I passed over it earlier, here it is, we lost 13,000 men. This was our probably actual worst battle, despite it being a victory, and only killed 3,741. That sucks. That really sucks. It was only a victory because we outnumbered them so much. Everyone here is staying on the defensive because I can't do anything with them. I don't have a single activated general here, so there's not a lot I can do. Up in Eastern Prussia, we have a number of situations going on. I do believe we did arrive and attack at Memel. Actually, we had a battle in Dorbiany up here. And if I remember correctly, yeah, that went okay. We lost more than we dealt, but not as bad of a ratio as down in south of Eastern Prussia. I don't know what this area is called. It's just part of Russia, I guess. And so we did push the units that were in here out, and I do believe they're out, right? Memel, yes. So these units are currently in Memel. Well, I'm putting our forces that have moved from Dorbiany down to Memel on the assault. We're going to try to, if we can, wipe out these units. We're going to try to wipe out the units that are in Memel. We're going on a full offensive, and I do believe we have the units here to do it. Only one of our units are kind of injured, but the rest are doing swell. And we do have a whole bunch more troops, one location away in Valau, and I'm going to leave them there as a support and also to cover the entrance to Memel and the escape from it, just in case anyone decides to come through. And in fact, I'm going to put this unit on offensive, so in case these units try to retreat to the south into Valau, we can assault them while they're retreating and hopefully completely wipe them out or keep them running even further. German fleet is still off the coast trying to fuck around. They're not accomplishing anything, so I'm content to leave them be. And now over in Turkey, where things are definitely changing the most. It's not a lot of Turkish units actually over here in Kars. We've dealt them enough blows that it's not really much of an issue. As you can see, I am going to use the first gas attack of the entire campaign here. I've decided to go ahead and do it. I have a plan here. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. I am going to gas this area, and I have an idea behind this. This is where a fuck ton of their forces are right now. I don't know how big the Turkish forces are, but I imagine of the forces up here, most of them are sitting right here, and they're pretty weary, and they're low on supplies. There's a small amount here, but I'm putting one unit on the offensive to try to attack and chase them out. That may lure these guys into a fight, but if this succeeds, and I believe if it does, it will only take place next turn, not this turn, then we have a chance of doing a couple things. We have a 75% chance of getting rid of 1/3 of their cohesion. That is amazing. I want that. That could definitely weaken them. A 25% chance of removing some of their health, dealing another 10% cohesion, and that would be nice. But since it's the very first time any sort of gas warfare has ever been used, it will deal 33% cohesion for sure. So we could take them down 66 cohesion, maybe 76 cohesion. And hopefully what will happen is I'll chase these units here and then they'll all get hit by it. And if they do, I can rush south next, and then they'll either run away and just kind of leave me to marching down without any opposition, or I'll just slaughter them all when I arrive. That's my hope, that's my goal. This is going to cost me, though. It's costing me 1 national morale, 1 engagement point, 50 war supply, and 50 victory points. And that could hurt. That may not help as much, but since the chlorine gas, the first use of any gas ever, has this advantage, I decided to use it in a place where it could help the most, I think. This may not be the most active front. It may not be where the stakes are highest. But if we can defeat this force, we can move this massive army I have down onto Erzurum and take over the capital of Turkey, which is, for our side, one of the only objectives in the game. We are not close to taking Vienna or Budapest. We're still holding on to Moscow and Petrograd. We're holding Paris. Berlin is not really in reach, but Erzurum is. It's like the most worthless objective that we have, but it's an objective nonetheless. And if I can take it, if I can wipe out these units, it will be amazing. Let's take a look at the state of the war. We've now lost 503,000 units. That is insane. We've lost more than half. More than half of what the Western Entente has lost. And seeing as the Western Entente is much bigger than us, that's how you know this war is a little lopsided, and we seem to be doing the brunt of the fighting. I don't know if this is realistic, if this is how it was in real life, but it fucking hurts, man. It hurts. The Western Entente has lost over 930k units, and the Central Powers, 1,780,000. It's so much, the mind boggles. They're getting close to 2 million, and we're the ones getting them there. I am so sure that we have dealt over half the losses they have sustained. I am so sure that we are carrying this alliance, especially after that last turn. We've now taken 29,000 prisoners, which is amazing, I think. I think most of them were taken in this past turn, even. Our morale is up to 104. It'll probably be down to 102 without some major victories next turn. But if you take a look, the Central Powers' morale is actually down to 83. It is now lower than the Western Entente. And that's saying a lot because the Central Powers started with 10 more morale or something than the Western Entente. And now they're lower than the Western Entente. So even though the Western Entente, led by the AI, has not been doing very well, we, and I guarantee you it's us, we have dealt so much damage, they're down to 83. And remember, you lose when you hit 0, you win when you hit 200. And the lower your morale gets, the lower your morale in combat gets. Not just your overall morale. Your troops will actually do worse the lower your morale gets. So the higher ours, the lower the enemies, the better every fight will go. So we can only hope that this continues to improve this situation before it's too late. Because we're getting overwhelmed in numbers on every front right now, especially Serbia. And I don't want Serbia to die, because that could really, I don't know, that might be able to hurt our morale. It might be able to boost theirs. And again, this is a lot of troops. This is hundreds of thousands of troops here. Maybe close to 1 million troops are here. And these are our most elite and experienced troops. Even if you include the ones in Montenegro, I'm sure they have some experience. Losing them would be a shame, especially losing them early. It would close off an entire front and remove one of the only 2 nations that we can control. And we'd be down to just Russia. And whereas I'm sure we could prolong things indefinitely with the Russians. We seem to be doing very well with the Russians. We have the numbers and it's proving very vital. It would still suck to lose Serbia. Even though historically both Serbia and Russia lost, it would still suck, right? The goal is to do better than history. And since we're already carrying this alliance, I'm hoping, I'm reinvigorated that we can do even better. That we can maybe hopefully win this war without completely dying. If we take a look at the other fronts, we can see, I don't know if Longwy has just fallen, but I think it has. It seems like it has recently been taken by the Germans. Under siege is Nancy, which is one of the main forts that I don't think was really touched. The surrounding region is conquered by the Germans, and they are assaulting one of the main border forts the French have. So fingers crossed, cheering them on and wishing them luck. I wish them the best. It looks like Bescanon over here is also under siege. The French currently own it. I don't remember the state of it last turn, but again, I hope that they win it. It looks for sure like the Swiss have been reclaiming some of their land, which is nice. And somehow the French, again, have gotten to Freiburg and taken the city and the surrounding area, which I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, unless they connect it with Switzerland for supplies. And that's really all there is to show this turn. Here's the situation. I'd love to hear your thoughts after you've seen that amazing turn result in the comments below. On the next turn, we will hit end turn and hopefully not have as eventful of a turn, because we definitely need some rest and recovery time, aside from where I have planned some offensives. Hopefully they go well, but thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.